So when lead to sulfate equation is PbSO4. So when PbSO4 undergoes dissociation, it will produce one Pb plus 2 ion and one sulfate ion. So the solubility dissociation you will write, so 1, 0. The sulfate ion would have been 0 if this was dissolved in water. But the lead sulfate is not dissolved in water. You are dissolving in presence of sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate will produce sulfate ion in 1:1 ratio. So therefore, whatever is the molarity of sodium sulfate, that will be the molarity of sulfate ion. If PbSO4 was considered in water, the sulfate ion concentration would have been 0. But since you have a solution of sodium sulfate, so the concentration of sulfate ion will not be 0, that will be 0.28. Where is this coming from? By the dissociation of sodium sulfate, which will produce sodium and sulfate ions. So the sodium sulfate and sulfate ion ratio is 1:1. So minus S plus S plus S, 1 minus S, S and 0.28 plus S. The solubility product Ksp is equals to concentration of Pb plus 2 ion times concentration of sulfate ion. The Ksp value of lead 2 sulfate is given as 1.6 times 10 to the minus 8. Pb plus 2 is the molar solubility in S moles per liter times sulfate is 0.28 plus S. Since S is a negligible value, so 0.28 plus S is always equal to 0.28. So it is 1.6 times 10 to the negative 8 is equals to molar solubility times 0.28. So molar solubility of lead sulfate in a solution of sodium sulfate whose molarity is 0.28 is 1.6 times 10 to the negative 8 divided by 0.28. So 1.6 times 10 to the negative 8 divided by 0.28. So 1.6 times 10 to the negative 8 divided by 0.28. So which will be 5.7 times 10 to the negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the molar solubility of lead sulfate. So you need to understand why this is 0.28, because sodium sulfate will dissociate in water producing sodium ion and sulfate ion. Sodium Na2SO4 will produce sulfate ion in 1:1 ratio. So whatever is the molarity of sodium sulfate, that will be the molarity of sulfate ion. If PbSO4 was dissolved in water, the molarity of sulfate ion would have been 0. But since you have sulfate ion produced by sodium sulfate, it will not be 0, that will be 0.28. One more thing you need to understand, since S is negligible, 0.28 plus S is same as 0.28. So this is molar solubility. You can write molarity or moles per liter. Thank you. Let me know if I can be of any help for your AP chemistry in future.